Good morning. That's nice and clear, Clivey.
Yeah, hi Dave. It's clear.
Mr. Adam, hello. Rhodes, I got your missed call, bros. I'll give you a call straight after this, buddy.
Thanks, Dave.
How's it at dinner last night?
Oh,
Cool. All right, I'll give you another couple of minutes to get everyone on. All righty. Guys, what I thought I'd do this morning, let me know if that's nice and clear. Just talk about a few different items that I think we just need a little reminder of. The first thing is distractions, guys. I know I go through good times and bad times with different distractions in my life, but just having a look at your world and just seeing where you're at in different parts. And I think social media is one of those big ones for all of us, and just seeing how much time that we're actually spending on social media. I'll talk about it in this week's weekly thought, but really, you know, the benefit of social media should be about us building a brand in our business. So just looking in that that manner. I think the other thing with our distractions is just in all our offices and just thinking about the chat and making sure it's good to have a laugh, but just working out whether, you know, how motivated we are and whether we're inspiring our teammates or slowing them down. The Port guys, this is a bit of a repeat for you guys. It's really important to hear it again for all of us, and it's really the auction process. The market in the last little period of time has looked absolutely like legends. Obviously, the market's moving north. So generally, at least something, you know, for 600, that's what the owner wants. Start of the campaign, we probably think it's worth 550. A market moving north, generally by the time we get to auction day. Oh, sorry. I don't have it. I've got it. Oh, here we go. One sec, guys. Just letting a few more people in. Cool. All right, welcome, guys. All right, just I think Katie. Cool. All right. So with the auction process, obviously the market moving north has made us right. So I've just seen in the last couple of weeks, one in different parts of Sydney, but also some of our auctions, the market sort of cooled in parts, or what we're doing is not seeing every property go as crazy as the other ones. So we really got to understand that it's a process and make sure that we're doing what we need to do. So our vendor reports need to be first class. Our vendor communication needs to be really sharp, but we also need to not just hope on auction day. All right, just letting someone else in. But not waiting for auction day to make sure we're at the right spot. Really, the perfect auction on that 600,000 properties, by the time we get to auction, you know, that our vendor is willing to take, you know, 550 or 570, and that we know we've got buyers at 600. We can go to sleep the night before an auction and know it's going to go really well. So I think also in this market, as I said to the Port guys, a lot of buyers aren't turning up to auction because I think they got buyer fatigue. At this time of year, It's easy for buyers to drop out. Obviously, Christmas is not far away, and we'll start seeing some buyers exit the market, realizing that they're about to go on holidays and they're a bit tired. So with those good buyers that we've met this year, let's get back in communication with them. Brady did a really good job the other day. One of his buyers didn't come because they'd been blown out of the water on another auction. And through that communication and building rapport, they turned up on auction day. Now, they didn't buy it. They're certainly in the race. And then that allowed for a successful auction. So let's not get lazy. Also, when we're appraising properties, whether it's auction or for private treaty, I appraised a place in Lighthouse the other day. A lot of properties are going to go for more than what their comparables have done. But I always think it's really important to base on mathematical figures. So we always say to the owner, look, obviously we've got a market moving north, or we've never seen a property like this. So we're going to see a price well above anything else. However, me or a different brand, it's very hard to actually promise that price because it's never actually been achieved. What we need to focus on is the process on how we actually sell. And the mathematical figure is just like a valuer. So basically saying that if we're looking at this property, mathematically, this is somewhere where a value would come into it. Obviously, buyers are going to see more value than where they're at this stage, and then give them that hope price. So some really important patch marketing. I think in a busy market, with all jumping around a little bit, a lot of you are doing really, really well, which is really exciting. Some of you are getting dragged out of your patch areas, and I understand that. But if we want to have a very, the real estate business is up and down consistently. If we can really focus on our patch marketing, we'll always have a consistent business. And I think, if we can make sure that we're generating 2 to 4 listings out of our patch every single month, we know we're going to get other ones from our database or other call-ins, or we're going to get other listings from meeting our buyers at opens. But we really need to look back. So what I'd really like you to do in this next couple of weeks one-on-ones with Jake is just realistically look at the last 3 to 6 months. What have you actually got from your patch? I know Clivey keeps that data, which is really important. And really look at this year and go, what have I actually got from my patch? How am I going with that? And that will give you a really good guide of how you're going to go next year. So if you've got 24 to 36 listings out of your patch last year, you've got a very consistent business. And moving into next year, you're going to have a great year because you've been doing that work. So make sure you're mixing your drops up. How are your buy letters going? How are you just listed? You just sold? Are we ringing around other agent signs? What are we actually doing in our patch to make sure we have that consistent business? And I think it's really important. Jake, I'd like you to focus on that in the one-on-ones. I think we're doing as much as possible in our patch marketing and completely mixing it up with our competitors. This is the real bit that I think we've all worked really hard through COVID for the last couple of years. Some of the results that you guys are getting and some of the money you're earning, and this is what I want to focus on today. What are you actually doing with it? Sure, there's some new starters in the team that haven't sort of got to that level, but some of the commission checks that some of you have been getting in recent times have been pretty bloody good, which is really exciting for you guys. But do we have a firm process of actually what we want to do with it? What I love about Jeff, there's one thing to have success, but there's another thing to build our life. So with the money that we've been making, what are we actually doing? I think in a good market, it's really important that we're putting some away. For some of you that are running your own businesses, make sure you're all over the tax situation. But really long-term, if we can really focus on our purpose and really focus on what we're doing with that money to make sure that we're investing for our future. And I think in real estate, we have such a competitive advantage, yeah? We're out there every single weekend. We're seeing the auction results. We're seeing what's happening in the market. To get out there and invest, all my mentors was not, how much money I made selling real estate is what I was doing with investing. And sure, we can go out and buy the new suit or the new car or anything like that. But I think it's a really good chance for you guys to start building an investment portfolio. So going into this year, it's November. It's going to be silly season really soon and the year goes out. But really look back at some of the money that some of you have made. I think it's time to have a bit of gratitude around that. It's to make sure that over the Christmas period, we're going to have a break. But that's really get our purpose piece right next year. Let's really look at our purpose and work out what do we want to make and why do we want to make it. And I think that will really give you that strong consistency. I know some of you in the business that I speak to quite a bit, there's some real drivers in there, what you actually want to do or what you want to achieve. And they're the people that I see the consistency. I had young Braithen in the office the other day, and we just went through the board, and forget about the names, just looking at those figures and looking at the months. 2 bad months, 1 good month, bad month, good month, good month, good month. Or some of you, if you look at Bates's figures all year, absolutely solid, and many others have been really solid. And you can actually see the consistency they got in their business. Numbers don't lie. So in all your offices, go through your actual figures and you'll be able to see 2 things, your patch marketing and your purpose piece. They're your 2 drivers. Your patch will give you consistency throughout the year. But your purpose is what's going to be your real driver. So cool. So let's jump on. Mr. Batesy, you there for a sec?
Yes, mate.
Hello, buddy.
Hey,
Your
mate.
figures have been really solid this year, so thank you.
Thank you.
Mate, your driver piece, how do you get
Sorry, say that again, mate.
How do you get that? Thank you, buddy.
Well, as you
Whoa. Whoa, sorry, buddy. One sec. Where are you, Batesy?
You're right. You got me?
Go for it, mate. Yep, got you.
Yeah. So we're not always going to be in a great market. So I think, as you said, mate, you've got to save for a rainy day. I obviously lost all my super many years ago. So I've basically had to start again. So it's important for me to look at investing. So that's what my purpose is to try over the next couple of years, try and get some investments behind me.
Yeah, cool. And mate, obviously we don't always wake up in a good mood, but generally we see the same Greg every day. What are some of the tips you do to make sure you still have a good day, even if you're feeling not really into it?
Mate, it's routine, I think. It's just being consistent and treat people the way that you want to be treated. So I try and yes, I'm mostly serious, but there's a light side of me as well. But when I'm at work, I'm at work.
Yeah, cool. All righty, Braithen.
Yeah, yep.
Hey, buddy. So we talked about distractions there. We talked about the auction process. We talked about patch marketing, and also a difference once we get up purpose and what we're going to do with our cash. What highlighted there for you today?
Yeah, obviously the market goes hot and cold. So I think while it's hot, work out what you're going to do with it. So when it's not so hot, you're prepared for it, I suppose.
And how are you going with your consistency?
Still finding it hard, but slowly I think planning out the day and all that helps me with that. But yeah, definitely still getting used to it.
Yeah, cool. And your weekly routine, how's it looking?
Yeah, so I've got obviously plan every day out before the week comes, so I know what the main tasks I've got to do. But yeah, still got to practice making sure I get them all done every day.
Cool. All right, Broads.
Yeah, mate.
Hello, buddy.
How you doing?
Which one of those sort of hit true to you, mate?
Oh, I think the whole auction process, it's easy to get carried away with auctions. Some are just going great guns, and that one we did at River Street. Obviously, we only had the 2 bidders there, but we managed to get a result. So just remember not to be too focused on the dream price and focus on the process. Just give confidence throughout the process. So, whatever happens, we know we don't have a crystal ball. Whatever happens next year is next year, and we can't control that. So just be ready for the now. And if the right buyer comes along, just nurture him along and get him to the auction.
Yeah, awesome. G,
Yes.
which bit highlighted for you today?
I think something that you said a little while ago, and I don't know if you remember, drawing a little stick man on the board with the ball pushing up the hill. And when you're at the top of the hill, you're celebrating and you kind of forget that you're going to come down. And I think it's that time now that we should really be focusing on, next year and who's going to come to market, moving our Bs to our As for the first quarter, and really sort of cementing those relationships just to ensure that, after Christmas, we hit the road running.
Yeah, cool. So the market's still good. So I agree, and not to counteract that, but yeah, we want to start looking for next year. And I know some of you already got listings for next year, which are great. Some great dialogue when we're talking to vendors. If they, like I personally, if I had a property to sell, we never know what the January market's going to do. Sorry, one sec. We never know what the January market's going to do. At least we know right now that the market's really strong, which is great. Some great dialogue for vendors going, oh, look, I'll just wait till next year. Look, there's no time like now. Buyers have got buyer fatigue, which is really exciting. In December, I've seen some of the best results in my real estate career because a buyer that's only going to spend 800 or thought they're only going to spend 800, they're tired. It's the end of the year. They want to make sure they buy a property. And that's when we see them make offers of 820 or 840 or 850 just because they're sick of waiting and looking and they pay over the top. Some good dialogue that's worked for me in the past. Cool. All righty. Who else we got? It's a little bit hard with some of the talk, guys, because we get a bit. I'm downstairs. Heathy. You there, Mr. Heath?
Can you hear me?
I can, buddy. How are you, mate? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, my computer's just everything's shut dark here.
Shut down.
Hold on.
You got me now? No, lost you. All right, we'll keep going. All righty, Jakey.
Yes.
Which one of those did you think was important? Obviously, you're getting, but distractions, auction process, patch marketing, or what we're doing with our cash.
I think it's all important. And I especially think now that we're coming towards the end of the year, everyone's tired. So everyone's I'm starting to see a little bit of everything slipping. So it's just making sure that we keep running towards the end of the year. We're nearly there.
Yeah. Cool. Lee Dixon.
Morning.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. What do you reckon the biggest? Well, I'm going to give you an open scope. What's the biggest lesson you've learned this year in real estate?
My biggest lesson. I've learnt lots of lessons this year, but I think possibly that communication with your vendors and relationship building in your patch area is huge.
Yeah.
And making sure that you keep following up. You can make one phone call, but somebody else might make two. So it's just, touching base and keeping in touch with the people and getting out there and being seen.
And I think on those calls, I think it's about making sure we're adding value. You know, once we've rung them once to say hello to them or introduce them, it's not another hello call. It's letting them know about something that's happened in the area that's going to offer some value to them, not just, oh, we're just ringing again. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how about belief?
Yeah. I still struggle with that, but I'm a lot better than I was. I will get there.
Nice. Love it. Logs.
Yeah, mate.
What did you get out of that today, buddy?
Probably the biggest thing was just patch marketing. You're going to have a consistent business if you do your patch marketing, and obviously you'll get leads out of that. But if you drop off with your letterbox drops and just listeds, just solds, that's where you have your up and down months.
Yeah. And what's your biggest lesson of this year, mate?
Biggest lesson? People lie. So I've spoken to a few people this year and they said they're never going to sell, and you see them pop up, 3-4 months later. So it's just about being consistent, and even if they say they're never going to sell, just keep on them, keep sending them updates.
Yeah, just offering that value. If we're not thinking about them contacting them to get them to sell, but we're thinking about contacting them to be the expert in the area, it's a different way of thinking. And remember, those calls don't need to be long. They could be, a minute, bang, just ringing, just to let you know, boom, Obviously, it's a little bit different than maybe Sydney. Maybe need to spend a little bit more time, but a value piece is just that. You just ring them to tell them something, you can definitely move on. Danny Slater.
Hello.
Which one did you get out of that, buddy?
The big one for me was just a reminder on patch marketing.
Yeah.
Like everyone else. Like I probably get dragged away a bit onto different places like out to Warhope and everything like that. But if I keep consistent on my patch marketing in Clifton and Westport, at least there's consistency there, and I can still go do those other ones as well.
You had some little goals this year, Reed, you know, a little boat, buying a property, I think a car this year. You know, so when we talk about Purpose Piece, did that help keeping you on?
Yeah, well, like we sat down and made the calendar invites with each other, and I got text messages from you like asking where I was up to, like picking house plans and with the boat and everything like that. So just setting those goals rather than just going willy-nilly, and just having that goal to work towards.
Cool. So I mean, your numbers are good to look at. You've had a really good year at where you're at in your career. But there were some moments, where you had a really good month and then a couple of really shit months. What did you learn from that?
Stay in my lane.
Perfect. I'm happy to keep reminding you that.
Thank you.
Cool. Alex, we go.
Yes, Dave. Hello.
Hello, buddy. What did you get out of that one today? Well, you there, buddy?
I think they're consistent patch marketing. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, gotcha.
Hello.
Yeah, gotcha.
Consistent patch marketing. Just keep it consistent each month, and utilising various forms like price updates and letterbox drops and so on. To utilise the marketing team we've got to help me with that sort of stuff as well.
Beautiful. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to finish up there. Nice, short and sweet. But they're simple points. But let's look at it. So once again, you know, where are we at with our social media? Where are we at with our ideal week? How's our day looking? Have we got it planned? What's our routines like? We're really, you know, making sure that we're doing at least 2 hours canvassing every day. The auction process, just to make sure it's exactly that process. You know, Alison the other week, her auction looked like it was all over the place and pulled together, and it was an absolutely incredible result. And you know, she followed the process to the T, and that's what it's all about. You know, sometimes people are looking at pulling auctions early. It's like, just let it go. I know there's a commercial auction today, and all of a sudden some buyers came last minute. Nathan Wilson's auction at Crescent Head, the same thing. Buyers are coming last minute. So it's just believe in that process and do what we need to do. Patch marketing, I really feel that's our big void in our business. I think we've dropped off on that. I think we really need to push back on that. We've done enough training on that. But overall, you know, if you know what we're going to do with the money we've earned, make sure we're investing, make sure we have a buffer, and then we keep moving forward in that Purpose Piece for next year. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day, guys. Bye.